Hello friends, welcome back. We are studying Code First approach in Entity Framework 6. So this video will cover how to configure one-to-many relationship in Fluent API. So let us understand it in detail. So I think all of you are familiar with this case study because from the beginning of the Fluent API video, we are concentrating on this case study. So for one-to-many relationship, I have chosen these two entities. So as you can see here, one department has many employees, right? So we are going to implement this relationship in Fluent API. So let us understand it in more detail. So here department and employee, both the entities are explained in detail. So as you can see here, its fields or properties are also listed. Now here department is a master table, whereas employee is a transaction or child table of a department. Okay, and there is one to many relationship between department and employee. So when there is one to many relationship, what we have to do? Whatever is the primary key in my master table, it will act as a foreign key in my child table. So department ID or DEPT ID is a primary key in department table, and it will going to act as a foreign key in my employee table. Now how to establish it using Fluent API. Okay, how to establish this relationship using Fluent API. So there are two functions that we can use in Fluent API. First one is has many and another one is with required. Okay, so department has many employees and employee requires department. What is the meaning of this? See, whenever you are going to create department, okay, department will going to have a multiple employees. Okay, and whenever you are going to create a department record, employee record is not necessary to be exist in your table, right? But whenever you are going to create an employee record in your database or in your table, there should be a department record exist for that particular employee. Okay, that's why whenever we are going to establish relationship between employee and department, we have to say with required. Okay, and whenever you are going to establish a relationship between department and employee, you will say department has many employees. Okay, now let us implement it in Visual Studio. So again, I'm using the same console application, that is Fluent API, that we created for studying the Fluent API concept. Okay, we have to define or we have to configure this one-to-many relationship in our DB context class, and the method name is onModelCreating. I have already explained the meaning of this class and method in previous videos. So the two important entities that are involved in this relationship are department and another one is employee. So as you can see here, department table is already created. Its important properties are defined, and as well as the most important thing that we require to configure the relationship is navigation property, which is also mentioned. Similarly, in employee table, we have this department navigation property, right? And I already explained you about the navigation properties, right? So I'm not going to cover that part here. So we directly switch to configuring the one-to-many relationship between department and employee. So let us implement the one-to-many relationship using Fluent API. So model builder dot entity. Now I'm going to specify the department entity first. Okay. Then after, as I said, we have to use has many method. Okay. Now this has many method will accept a lambda expression. Okay. Or basically you can say it accept a func delegate where its argument is of type department and you have to return a value of type I collection. Okay, so whatever you will specify here, which is nothing but your argument of type department, and then after you have to mention the value that you want to return. It should be of type I collection. So we already define a navigation property in our department class, which is of type I collection. So as you can see here, employees I collection employee, right? So this is our navigation property. Now again we have to define opposite relationship between employee and department. So here I'll say with required. Okay. Now here also you have to specify the func delegate. Okay, you have to use this second overload, and what it accepts? It accepts the argument of type employee, and you have to return the value of type department. Okay, it is not a collection type of property, it is just a single value of type department, which is nothing but a navigation property that we define in our employee entity. So here I'll say E goes to E dot department, and then after we have to specify the foreign key name. Okay, department ID is going to act as a foreign key in our employee entity, right? So we have to specify it. So again, here I have to specify the lambda expression. So I'll say E goes to E dot DEPT ID. So DEPT ID will act as a foreign key in my employee table. So whenever you are going to define one-to-many relationship, you have to define these much things, right? First of all, the master table, and then after you have to specify has many. Then between child table and master table you have to define the relationship using with required, and then after you will specify the foreign key in your child table. Okay, definitely all these navigation property and foreign key property should be defined in your table, then only it will work. Now we are going to see one more point related to one-to-many relationship. So let us switch to presentation. So here we are going to implement one-to-many relationship between team and employee. Okay. Now what is the difference between team employee relationship and department employee relationship? So if you observe here I just put a asterisk sign, whereas whenever I am defining the department to employee relationship, here I say one-to-many. Now what is the meaning of asterisk? Asterisk means zero or many, zero or more. Okay, and here one-to-many means at least one record should exist. Means whenever I am going to create an employee record, department record should exist, or rather I'll say I should enter the department ID foreign key. I should enter a value for department ID foreign key. It cannot be null. There should be a value for the department ID. Whereas in case of team to employee relationship, it is not necessary that employee record will have a team ID. Okay, see, all of we know that whenever employee joins an organization, initially team is not assigned to employee. Employee record get created, but team is not assigned. First of all, employee undergoes training, induction, and everything. So when he got team assigned, at that time only we can specify the team ID. So team ID is going to be a foreign key in employee table, but whenever we are going to create an employee record, at that time we are not going to assign a team ID to it. Okay, means you can say your team ID is somewhat nullable. Team ID what? Team ID is what? It is nothing but a nullable foreign key. So that concept we are going to study now. So let us understand it in detail. So as you can see here, we have team entity, employee entity, all the properties are specified, and just observe here 0 to many. So team ID will either have a value or it can have a null value. So basically we are going to see how to implement a concept of nullable foreign key along with one-to-many relationship. So basically again, team has many employees, okay, and here you have to specify while defining the opposite relationship between employee and team, you have to use keyword with optional. In case of department and employee, we specified with required. But here, since we want our team ID to be nullable, we will specify the method with optional. Okay, so let us implement it. So this is our team entity. These are the basic fields, and this is navigation property. So team has multiple employees. That's why this property is of type I collection. And let us observe the employee entity. So one employee has one team. So time being we are considering this condition that one employee will have one team. So that's why I just define a property of type team. Okay. And this is our foreign key. Now since my foreign key can have nullable value, that's why I declared this property of type integer nullable type. Okay. And this is the way to define a nullable value type of data. Okay. Now let us implement it in DB context class. Okay. So I'm going to use this model builder object. I have to specify the entity property, entity method. So we are going to establish relationship between team and employee. So first of all, I'll specify the team entity. So team has many employees. So I'm going to use has many method. To this has many method, I have to provide the func delegate, which is accepting the argument of type team, and I have to return one I collection property. So here I'll say t goes to, so t is nothing but of type team, so t dot employees. So employees is my I collection property. Okay. Now here I have to establish the opposite relationship from employee to team. So here I'll say with optional. I'll say with optional. See, in the above relationship we specify with required. Means department ID is compulsory, but here team ID is not compulsory. That's why I'll say with optional. Now here we are going to use a second overload where our argument will be of type employee, and we have to return the value of type team, okay, which is nothing but our team navigation property. So here I'll say e goes to e dot team, and then I have to specify the foreign key which act as a foreign key in my employee table. So here I'll say has foreign key. Now here also, if you look at here, we are dealing with an employee table. So e goes to e dot team ID. So team ID is going to be my foreign key. That's it. So I hope you understand the difference between with required and with optional. Whenever you want your foreign key to be a compulsory, at that time you will use with required. But if you want your foreign key as optional or nullable, at that time you will use with optional method. So if you have any doubts or queries, you can definitely write to me. I'll definitely try to solve them. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much.